I think the Chad and Laurie case is going to be coming up a lot more in coming days and weeks because of the talk about the trial for Chad and Laurie and it being separated. And of course, I think they should have a separate trial. So many of you that have just found me because you hate my guts with what you think I'm saying about the Morphew case, which is the missing woman Suzanne and her husband Barry in Colorado. But you may not know I've spoken about a lot of other things, and one of them is that I've got a playlist on Laurie Cox and Chad Daybell, and maybe you're interested in hearing what I have to say about that. I speak about Melanie Gibb, a few other people, but essentially what my stand there is, Laurie Cox grew up in a very dysfunctional family, and I think she's got a very specific personality type and specific psychology. I don't know what it is, obviously, but I have a feeling it might be something to do with dark triad, which is the Machiavellianism, the psychopathy, and narcissism. And I think she's always been a nasty piece of work. And I think Chad, not the sharpest tool in the block, desperate to be someone, found a way to do so, and was looking for his goddess bride sort of thing. And he's made a few moves and made a few rejects along the way, one of whom would be Julie Roll. And I truly suspect that Melanie Gibb was someone he gave a look in as well, and maybe she rather fancied herself in the role, and this is why I talk about Melanie Gibb and Laurie Vallow as being frenemies. That's part of the reason there. But, it's his books that Laurie latched onto. It's his books that fed some of Laurie's narrative. She truly did believe in a doomsday world, and I believe it's Chad that is deluded, and it's Chad that fed these final delusions with the light and dark to an already nasty person. So you've got Chad, who's just completely numb and disconnected and desperate for specialdom, and Laurie, who has no trouble seeing herself that way and who will do whatever it takes. And that whatever it takes part of her makeup has meant that whatever Chad wanted, she's done. Her children were easily sacrificed to be with Chad because she was going to be elevated up to this goddess status. Chad decreed, that the children were in the way or unnecessary because, he made them dark. He's the one that made them dark. And, she's even said, if he's Satan, he's a real good one. And, along she went with all his plans. She's a schemer. She's a nasty person as it is. So what was one more thing? Even her own children. And I really believe this, Folie, Deux, with Chad the imposer and Laurie the acceptor. And that is not to say, this is not to say that Laurie isn't a nasty person, that she's not Machiavellian in her ways, that she didn't hurt a lot of people for years, that she wasn't a child abuser, because she psychologically abused Tylee. I really believe that. And, she really did this to JJ as well, the love bombing and the psychological torture in the last months of his life. So, there's a little bit about what I think of Chad and Laurie. Melanie Gibb, you might find interesting. My thoughts on her, because 100% guilty knowledge. Chad and Laurie have got a video about the 7 deadly sins and how they broke each one of them. Here's my train. I'll speak to you later.